Alright, what up, tube? This used to be a knowledge on how to water pump replacement on this Dodge. Any Jeep, Dodge, 3.5 Pennister motor V6. It's the same with the Valley. A little cooler, that always notoriously leaks. Sorry for the wind. I don't want to yell, but the wind is just kind of windy. But anyway, nothing too complicated. A few different size bolts on the sockets here. 13, 5/8 or 60 millimeter. Your 10s, quarter or 3/8, your liking. Bristle wheel, chemicals to clean, and that's pretty much it. These are your bolts here. The tens, they go around. They're different sizes, but I'll I don't want to make a how-to on that. But a trick, just a basic knowledge on the different bolt sizes. It can work in different diameters or length. Let's say you're doing a water pump. This has about 3 different bolt sizes. This works in a generalistic oil pan, valve body, head, not necessarily head bolts, but valve cover. I mean, there's rare valve cover gasket bolts that are different lengths, but you get the gist. But it's actually across the board. The bolts are now rules. I mean, it's because of course there's different complex situations that you can apply every single thing to, but this covers a plethora of different situations that'll definitely help you, because when you're dealing with a situation to where the component had different bolt sizes, the way to accurately get them in the proper um, uh, bolt hole is the depth. So there's 2 ways to achieve that. When you first take out the bolt, you look at the depth at its maximum reach, or its end of its travel on the threads. You look at that. You either measure it with your eyes or just kind of just measure it, the distance, and that way you know where they go. But let's just say you took them all out already. When you get ready to install them, usually, typically, you would have either a 1/4 inch or a full inch gap in between the actual starting of the threads to where the bottom of the bolt is. Sorry, but let's just say, like, take for example this. You would have this much of a space before it actually gets to the threads. But what you would see is like you would see this. Let me see. You would see this much of the bolt exposed. You see what I'm saying? You would see this much of the bolt, and that means it's actually at its bottom of its travel at the top of the thread, so you can actually get the threads in. But the different bolt sizes, they won't fit. Take for example a different bolt size with this, it'll go all the way in, and you still have room to go. So by lining it up just like that with that diameter, you'll be able to, and across the board, literally.